Hey guys, so what we're going to do next is we're going to build a platform, so essentially the ground that sits around the building. So if you see here in 3D, we can see our building. Just rotate it around. So we can see our building, we can see the foundation, which is below ground. So we want an actual building, our building to sit on actual ground, so it looks a bit more realistic. And when we do our sheets in that will show as a ground line, obviously on the sheets. So for now, we'll just put a simple ground line in, a ground plane in. Later on in the more advanced tutorials, we will go into how you put in levels within that ground plane. But for now, we'll look at just a simple level surface. So in Revit, you should typically see a level for a site. I wouldn't typically recommend you do this on ground floor. I would probably put this into a separate level. Now, as I said before, within the templates and the actual Revit templates, you usually find site. If you don't find site, there's a way of getting this back, and I'm going to show you how to do that, or to create your own one, and with your own properties of site using the default templates. So if you go into view, if you go into create panel, plan views, floor plan, it's a floor plan at the top. Click off this because what we want to do is duplicate one of our existing views. So the lowest one we've got, which is the ground floor, we're going to duplicate that. So create a duplicate of the ground floor. We don't want to call it ground floor, so if you want to right click on the one you just created, it should have a one around it, and then you can rename it site plan. Enter. So that was right click, rename, and then site plan, and then enter. Once you've done that, if you go up to view template, if you stay in the site plan view, apply template properties to current view, and then if you go discipline, for example, architecture, you should see site plan as a default template. Okay, so it's got all the settings for what a site plan would normally have. Obviously, you can go and adjust this manually if you want and make it as your own, but for now we're just going to use the template that's predefined for most architectural templates. So click OK, and that will give you a site plan view. One other thing I tend to do is if you go into your properties panel here, and if you go to find it here, view range, edit, make the view depth unlimited, so that will go below the ground, unlimited depth. Apply and click OK. So that's how set up the site plan view. So we're ready to actually model now. So if you go to massing and site, if you click on Topo surface, what we want to do is create a number of points, okay, around the building. Doesn't have to be accurate, doesn't have to be level or straight, just a couple of points around. Your elevation should be set to 0.00, so that's your heights essentially of your level. So if you're into surveying or you do surveying, that's your levels of all the points that you've surveyed, and that's what will be used to generate the levels within Revit and the topographic surface within Revit as well. But for now, we'll just click on 0.00, and then want to click anywhere outside the building in order to create a square. So in order to create some kind of shape around the building. Once you've done that, again, you can leave it at 0, 0. If you want to go back and have a play about with it, if you click escape a couple of times, and you can go into any of these points and adjust the elevation. So I can go here and say minus 500, for example, so a half a mil below, and that'll put that half a mil below, half a meter, sorry, below. Take this, minus 200, enter. And if I go back to my 3D, you'll see there is, probably can't see it, but that's what you created anyway. You can't see the fall that much drastically, but if I do actually, I set up, as an example, you don't have to do this for yourself, I will set this to quite high, so I'll do that to minus 3000 just to show you what it does. For that, enter. 3000. So if I go back to my 3D, so you see there that bit there has went down 3 meters below ground. So once you add in all these points, it will adjust the levels and create the contours. As I said, that one we'll look at a bit more detail later down the line, but for now we'll just stick to 0, 0, or as close to 0, 0, just to make it easier, so at least then it is all level. This is the ground plane. So once you've done that, if you click the tick, so if you go back to edit surface and tick, and that one, let's create that. Obviously, you can change the color of that, so it's brown just now, so you can change the material. So if you click on that surface that you just created in your 3D view, you can go material, edit category, the little three dots should appear. You click on the three dots. This is where all the materials sit within Revit. For now, we'll go down, we'll find some grass. So if you go down, it should be there. So site grass, or you can search it up there if you want, but my one's called site grass. Click OK. Click off of it, and there you should have now grass around your building, okay, where the foundation is below it.